Hey guys, this is Elena, reporting for duty, ready to talk about Costa Rica. So if you're on this channel, you are probably interested in Costa Rica for some reason or another, probably for moving. Maybe the algorithm has brought you here because you're thinking about moving to Costa Rica. If you've been following for a while, I want to say thank you for following. And if this is your first video, then you're in the right place if you're looking for information on actually moving to Costa Rica. So today I'm going to be talking about, what are some of the most popular beach towns that I see people moving. So why am I talking about this topic? I have a relocation company here in Costa Rica, and we've helped hundreds of people relocate here to the country. And there's obviously some trends of where we're seeing that people are going and for the reasons that we're seeing them go certain places too. So today we're going to focus a little bit on the beach. I'll definitely do one of these videos about the Central Valley as well, or maybe other parts of the country that we see kind of in popularity too. So if you're new and you don't really know what we do, in the description below, there's tons of information. We have one-on-one services to help you with scouting trips, your actual relocation, A to Z. We pretty much do most of the process for you and walk you through step by step through everything. And we have retreats, and I have a podcast, and lots of other cool stuff going on. So if you want kind of to dive down the rabbit hole of relocation and how we can help, then go ahead and look in the description below. If you're really feeling very passionate and ready to take some action, then that's when you can book a call with me. So just go ahead and book that call whenever you're ready to take some action. If you're looking for free info, definitely explore the rest of this channel. Like, this is what I provided. That's, essentially for free for everybody. So go ahead and utilize that, and we will book a call when you're ready to take actions. Okay, so let's get into the content. Okay, so I got the iPad here. So we're going to go and look at Costa Rica. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at the screen here, the iPad. So here's Costa Rica. I'm just on Google Maps. So I use Google Maps a lot. So I use Google Maps a lot when I'm in a scouting trip planning session, explaining to someone, okay, what are the routes we're going to do for your trip? How long is it going to take you to get from A to B? Things like that. What roads are paved, what roads are not paved, etc. All right, so if you are not really familiar with Costa Rica, and I'm going to explain to you here. Here we have Costa Rica. Above, that's where we got our pointer. Above here is Nicaragua. And down here is Panama. I guess if you want to see the lines, on your Google, you can change the actual, I guess it needs to load, but on Google you can change that as well. So you can actually see where the lines are. Okay, here you can see a little bit better outlined the country of Costa Rica. So you can see it's, ends here. Here's Panama, and, here's Nicaragua. Some people might think this is an island. I have some people ask me, how's island life? I'm like, I don't live on an island. So yeah, it's actually here in Central America. I have had people who were not sure where Costa Rica was. That's okay. We're here to educate. All good. No judgments. So let's talk about some of these areas that are really popular, let's say beach-wise. So some very popular vacation spots could be up here, let's say in Guanacaste. Again, I know you all are thinking about living here. This is going to be different. We have an international airport up here. This right here. So right here we have the LIR, airport code LIR. So we have Liberia Airport here. 30 minutes from there is Playa del Coco, right over here. That makes Playa del Coco pretty popular for people. I will say, okay, demographically, what I've seen, again, this is my own experience. I've seen most people who've moved here out of our people have been more like retirees or people in their 50s, 60s, 70s have moved over here. And they like this beach town because it's only, like I said, it's only 30 minutes from the airport. That's super fast. That's about the fastest you're going to get to a beach around here. This town has many amenities. So you have lots of different grocery stores. You have pharmacies. You have farmers markets. You have coffee shops. You have the beach. You have gyms. I mean, you have most things that someone's going to need. So that's very attractive of the area too. Also, in terms of housing, there is a lot of housing available here in these areas because I'll show you. Look at all these condominiums here. These are condominiums. Like, these are probably 2-story. It's kind of like more apartment, almost like little mini apartment complexes. They're not high rises by any means. This is the area called Las Palmas. This is very popular. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of condominiums. If I remember correctly, these are up in a hill. And these should have like an ocean view. Yep, there we go. I was right. Okay, so these are kind of more, this is more like your ocean view road. up here. And then you have a lot of your condominiums, down here. And then, Playa del Coco is like a bay. That's why it's also popular. See all these boats? These boats are just parked out there because it's like a bay. There's not really any waves. It's probably good for swimming. So it's definitely more like a bay here. You're not going to, and that's, really attractive for some people. And they like that. Now another area. So again, we have like that's popular. We have more condominiums over here. I mean, this area is just kind of filled with condominiums and a lot of housing. So if you come over here, we have about 5-10 minutes from Coco, probably less. You have Playa Ocotal. This area over here is more residential, but you're still really close to Playa del Coco and all the things that Playa del Coco does have to offer. Same with this little area over here called Playa Hermosa. This is also an area where a lot of people like because it's more residential. You have some of your basics over there, but then you're still close to Playa del Coco where they have a lot of those other things to offer. Okay, that's Playa del Coco, worth mentioning. Okay, here's another one. We're up in Guanacaste still. So this is another area. So here we have the airport, Be Ready up here. If you come down, we're going to come over here to Potrero in Brasilito. This is an area that I found to be more popular for families because there's a lot of international schools over here. So you're going to find the single family homes. You're going to find international schools. A lot of these beaches are white sand beaches. There also might be more like a bay. When there's schools, that means there's kids' activities. There's, the amenities that families are typically looking for. So I do have a lot of my families end up here. There's also retirees or people of other ages who might end up over here too. But this is where a lot of my families are. Also some vacationers for sure. Las Catalinas, I don't have anyone who lives in here, but this is kind of a cool touristy area where you'll find people that's having more development. And then we have Playa Flamingo, very popular with tourism too. Not big, like you got this hill. There's some high rises here, like some more of those larger buildings that you're gonna have here. And you're gonna have Brasilito. So these are all a matter of minutes away from each other. Between Potrero, Playa Flamingo, Brasilito. These are all a matter of minutes from each other. These areas aren't really cheap. I mean, it's a pricier area to live for sure. Brasilito's nice. It's got Playa Conchal, which is my favorite beach of all of Costa Rica. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful white sand beach. I think it's the most beautiful beach here in the country. Beautiful, like so amazing. I wouldn't mind living near that, but I like where I live. This area is more dry, and I've done videos on all the areas of Costa Rica. So go ahead and find those on my channel too, where I've really talked about the differences between climate and medical and things like that. So if you're looking for that, those are in other videos. Actually, it's also in our online course. We have our DIY program. Anyone in our scouting trip program, or anyone in our relocation program, get access to these full long videos that I really did kind of breaking down every single area of the country. So we're just doing, like I said, kind of an overview. And then we have Tamarindo. Tamarindo is popular. This is a popular beach town. And again, whenever the title says best beach towns to live in, this really depends on you and your family. And I have videos that also, and I'll link them below. There's some videos that I already have that talk about what to look for in an area, like things that you should be considering in an area to make sure that an area is a good fit for you. So I'm just talking to you about kind of where I see some popular areas are, but it doesn't mean that these are the right areas for you. Like this for me, like the climate, Guanacaste is not for me. I do live by the beach, but I'm in the Central Pacific. I prefer that climate. Guanacaste is more hot and dry and flat. I prefer more mountainous, green, longer rainy season, but still I like the beach, so I am by the beach, just for example. So Tamarindo is another popular one. It's also, very touristy, can definitely be really pricey, but there are people who like to live in and around here. There are schools, you got families, there's a lot going on, lots of young people, big for surfing. It's got a lot going on. So if you're looking for like a lively area, then and you got the budget for it, you can pay a decent amount in rent, then this might be a great area. For people who like living outside of this area, they might end up in Villarreal, or they might end up over here in Huacas, where they're kind of actually near Brasilito, but also not too far from Tamarindo. Okay, down the coast here, Nosara can be popular, but not everyone can afford it. Same with Samara. I feel like Samara has grown in popularity, but sometimes, let's say the prices for single family homes are not cheap. Again, I'm going through the most popular. So out of Guanacaste, Playa del Coco is popular. Potrero, Brasilito, Tamarindo can be popular. These, yes, people move there. Maybe you're watching this and but I moved there and I loved it. What do you mean it's not popular? I don't have that many people move to this area, and that's just a fact. It's farther from the airport. It's going to be farther from major medical. The schools might be a little bit more limited. But of course, some people move there and that's where they live. Just not as many. Okay, we're coming down the coast. Central Pacific. This is another area where I definitely have people move. I'm going to mostly focus here. So we got Jaco, Playa Hermosa, Esturios, Bejuco. We have people move here a lot because you're about an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes away from the airport from San Jose. You're not too far from major medical. You have all the amenities. So that kind of has a lot of what Playa del Coco I mentioned. You have good access to medical, good access to amenities, just good access overall. You're good. You have a lot. For me, I like that it's a little bit more mountainous. The climate's a little bit different, but it's still beach climate. Not quite the white sand beaches. Jaco's a great place for people this is a popular place where people move to. And if you Google it online, you're probably going to see a bunch of stuff about nightlife. But honestly, it's very family friendly. I've always been a big supporter now of Jaco. It's very family friendly. There's so many kids' activities. There's lots of adults doing things. Yeah, I think it's a good place you can live in and have like a good clean time. See, as you can see, this beach is not a white sand beach, but it is beautiful. Great for surfing, great for learning how to surf. So I'm just there we go. I got the surfing person. These are just Google photos. But yeah, I think it's a great spot. Great if you don't have a car. I also find rental prices to be more reasonable here for a beach town because, as you can see, there's a lot of inventory here. There's a lot of condominiums and there's a lot of housing and there are some high rises. So I do find the rental inventory to be better here. Also, the thing is, Jaco is the biggest beach town, the most developed beach town in Costa Rica. But I'm going to tell you, you can walk from point A to point B if you want. You can totally walk from point A to point B, no problem. So it's when I say biggest, most developed beach town in Costa Rica, it's not like Miami or anything crazy. It's really not. Some people like Hermosa. Me. I like Hermosa. This is where I live. So these are for people who want to be outside of Jaco, but don't want to be directly, in the traffic or in the stuff that's going on. I like to be outside of it. Good tight-knit community here. Esturios is growing in popularity. Not a popular beach town right now, but I would say growing-ish. Still pretty rural, but not too far. About 30 minutes to Jaco. Not none close to Purda, which is mostly Costa Ricans live here, and they have good access to services here as well. Okay, so I'm going to say Manuel, Antonio, and Capos, but honestly, not really popular for people that we've worked with to go move there. It's very touristy. It's a great place to great place to go bring my family and friends when they come to visit. I've lived there before, but no, it's not really as much as you'd think. As much as visited as it is, and as beautiful as the beach is, I don't feel like it's for us. Again, these are my statistics from what I'm seeing and the people that we work with. This is not a top destination where we have people moving. Capos, Manuel, Antonio. But it gets a ton of visitors. So you're going to have a lot of people. And there are people that live there. But it's not like one of our highest. And at the end, I will just tell you exactly which ones are our most, which I've already kind of been telling you. Then we have the southern zone. So the southern zone, I kind of lump it. It's kind of Dominical, Luvita, Ocotal. Again, this is by the beach. A little bit up the mountain here. This is very popular. I used to love it down here. I spent most of my years down here. Love the area. It's absolutely magical. We got a lot of families, people of all ages. It's just a big melting pot of everybody. It can be rural, but you can also still have what you need. I mean, I think I love it. I love it down here. Always have. Would I move back? Probably not, because one, very, very settled in my life where I'm living now outside of Jaco. I don't want to move again. I have amazing friends here. I couldn't imagine myself leaving where I am, but I love to go visit. I love visiting there. The beaches are gorgeous. You have the whale's tail. The national park here is just beautiful. It's gorgeous. So yeah, really nice beach down here. Super beautiful. Okay, so these are my most popular. Maybe I'll do another video talking about my least popular and as to why. I kind of touched on some of them a little bit with but these ones are the most popular. So Central Pacific, super popular. South Pacific, super popular. And then we got, up here in Guanacaste in this little area between Coco and Tamarindo, also popular. For me personally, what I see the most is going to be, I see more people coming towards the Central Pacific and South Pacific versus Guanacaste. But again, these are just me and what I'm seeing and the hundreds of people that we've moved here so far in our business. And I think maybe a disqualifier for this area for people could be cost of living. It is higher. Could be the weather too. Maybe they don't want such a hot, dry climate. They might want a little bit more greenery even during the dry season. So I don't know. I guess people have their own reasons, but still popular, but not as, I would say, in our statistics, not as popular as the Central Pacific and South Pacific, which might be unpopular opinion. Like it might be, some of you on here might be looking at me going, what are you talking about, Sarah? That's crazy. You might be saying, what do you mean? It is super popular. I know like 20 people who live there. But yeah. All right. So those were kind of some of our more popular beach towns here in Costa Rica. I didn't even touch the Caribbean because we've had the least amount of people. So I will do another video on the most least popular places. Let's say that we have people move and as to why. It's not that we don't have people move to some of these more remote areas. It's just not as popular. So I hope this helped you kind of understand a little bit about the areas and get some insight. And thanks again. See you in the next video.